The Voice of Vrillon. A few noted investigators think that they're here now, or that they are on their way back. Local news bulletins don't often become the news generally. A little after 5 p.m. on Saturday, November 26, 1977, the transmission of the local UK television station Southern News Bulletin made worldwide headlines when it was overridden by an external broadcast from an individual claiming to represent the Ashta Galactic Command. As newscaster Andrew Gardner recited the day's events in Rhodesia, now Zimbabwe, the scheduled bulletin began to break up and an eerie broadcast took over in its stead. The Independent Broadcasting Authority, IBA, engineers based in Croydon, Surrey had no idea that their regularly scheduled news bulletin had been hacked by an outside source. This rogue signal was also oblivious to the main transmitter located in Southampton. The only people that were aware of something bizarre taking place were the viewers themselves. Some panicked, while others were unmoved. The video feed remained intact, but the audio was suppressed by a spokesman identifying himself as Vrillon. His 6-minute message which follows at the end of ours. The IBA moved quickly to dispel fears and concerns among their viewership, declaring that the broadcast was a hoax. A technically gifted one, but a hoax nonetheless. Whoever, or whatever, was responsible for the broadcast interruption would almost certainly have excellent and in-depth knowledge of broadcasting capabilities and frequencies in order to pull off the interruption. The Huntingdon transmitter, where the Southern TV signal was normally broadcast from, was actually a unique example which could explain why Southern TV became the victim here. The Huntingdon signal actually originated at the Rowbridge transmitter on the Isle of Wight. Overriding this FM signal was quite an easy thing for the right person to accomplish. With the proper equipment, all that the hacker needed to do was to broadcast the rogue signal on the same frequency as the authentic signal, but almost on top of the Huntingdon transmitter itself. Vrillon had to be in the immediate vicinity of the remote Huntingdon transmitter at 5:10 p.m. on the very day he took over the airwaves. The same thing could be said about another infamous broadcast interruption. This one occurred almost a decade on from Vrillon and half a world away in Chicago, USA. On this occasion, a pair of broadcasts were taken over by someone resembling then-current TV star Max Headroom. The first intrusion occurred during a news report of a baseball game on WGN-TV. Both the audio and video were taken over but no discernible dialogue could be heard from Max. The only audio that could be heard was a buzzing that drowned out the news reports. WGN engineers managed to block this intruding signal by altering the frequency of their own. 3 after the first intrusion, another took place. This time the target was WTTW and audio was present. Ironically, it was an episode of Doctor Who that suffered the interference. Once again, a Max Headroom lookalike invaded the airways and uttered a stream of incoherent babble and juvenile sound effects. He also sang the Coca-Cola advertising jingle to a can of Pepsi on air and finally got an accomplice to brandish a fly swatter while parading in a French maid's uniform. Max readied himself by mooning to the camera before the accomplice instigated a spanking. WTTW technicians were unable to combat the high microwave signals that were employed with standard countermeasures available at the time. WTTW were able to gather recordings of the event from Doctor Who fans that recorded the scheduled broadcast of their favorite show. Both Vrillon and Max Headroom have yet to be identified conclusively. Neither had intruded on any broadcasting since. Whoever masqueraded as Max Headroom in 1987 was likely a high school fraternity who did what they did for the notoriety it would bring. What of Vrillon? Perhaps the IBA were correct in their assessment, but the very nature of the message given has made some people believe that Vrillon could very well be the real thing. And he may be simply biding his time. Some think he is here now. Stay paranoid, my friends.
But, he says, there are conditions. These include stopping the execution of all captured prisoners of war, allowing Giroux to stay on negotiations, being arrested. In Australia, Mr. Perry Packer's cricketers are still clinging by yesterday's High Court decision, which lifted the ban on them playing in Test matches.
This is the voice of Vrillon, representative of the Ashta, speaking to you. You must be consistent. Over this, you'll carry down. We come to rule of the destiny. Make any picture your when the disaster strengthens other worlds around you. We share and fight the new age of Aquarius. We find great peace. But only a be still now. All your weapons of evil must be removed. The time for conflict is now. Proceed to the higher stages of its evolution. For yourselves worthy to do this. A short time to learn to live together in peace. Yes, and exist is to you all.
Then they run out.
Now, the voice. How can I give you commands? Be aware. Fits and guides. They will suck your energy and will put it to evil. But in a divine self will protect you from this. You must learn to be sensitive to the voice within you that can tell you what is true and what is learn to listen to the voice which is within you. It's such a lead your thoughts. This is our message.
I really appreciate your choice. Understand that we can't do. I insist. Stop. Use your imagination. Oh, gee.